All right, guys, welcome back to a 2-box penny hunt. Usually we just have 1 box when we have anything other than $half, but today I was lucky enough to pick up 2. So if we have any, we'll start with this box, and if and when we have any finds, I'll bring you guys in. Roll number 6 is gonna have our first find. It's not a wheat cent, it's a pig cent. This is a penny from 1996 from Bermuda. Next roll, and we have another foreign. This one is a 1969 Canadian. For any more Canadians, I won't be filming them unless they are 1964 or earlier, because those are rarish design to find in American boxes. Roll 11, and we are going to have our first wheat cent. This one is from 1957 out of Denver. Same roll, and we are going to have another wheat cent. This one is from 1944, and I think that has a lamination error. Pretty cool. Basically, that means that a piece of the planchet before it was struck, a piece of the planchet was stripped off, so thereby making it a defective planchet. So pretty cool, a mint error in a wheat penny. I don't see those too often. Roll 13, and we have a wheat cent from 1958 out of Denver. Roll 17, we have another wheat cent. I just saw the reverse there. Oh, that's gonna be a 30s wheat cent, 1935 out of Philadelphia. Roll 20, and we have another wheat penny. This one, it has pretty nice color on it. This one is from 1948. Roll 23 is going to yield us another wheat cent from 1957 out of Denver. Roll number 26 is going to give us a 1944 wheat penny. I'm just going to go ahead and put that one on top because it has a semi-error to it. Roll 29, and we're going to have 2 wheat cents. The first one is reverse facing, and is a 1952 Denver. And the second one is obverse facing, and is a worn and beat down 1948 Denver. Okay, roll number 30 is going to hand over another 50s wheat cent. This one is a 55 out of Denver. Roll 32, and we're going to have another wheat cent sandwich. This one could be old, and that one's a 1952, so we're just going to pull that one out first. And 1952 Philadelphia. Hopefully this one is pre-1940s. It's just going to be a really worn 1946 Denver. Too bad, but it's 2 more wheat cents for the board. Roll 37, and we have another wheat cent. This is another 50s. This is from 1951 out of Denver. Roll 41, and we have a wheat cent ender. So I'll crack the roll open and let you guys know what year it is. That wheat cent ender is a 1941, so we'll go ahead and check it for any of the 3 possible DDOs. Pretty rare, so I don't expect to find them, and I have not found them. Roll 42, and we are going to have another wheat cent. There was nothing in that last ender roll, but this roll is going to have a 1957 out of Denver. Roll number 43 is going to have our 16th wheat cent. It is going to be 1950 out of Philadelphia. Very crusty and very beat up. Is that where it goes? No, it's not. It'll go right there. Roll 48, and the second coin into the roll is going to be a 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent. Just a few coins later in the same roll, there's going to be another wheat cent. This one's from 1945 out of Philadelphia. All right, guys, we're done with that box, and we had a very good box. We had 19 wheat cents, 1 from the 30s, 6 from the 40s, and 9 from the 50s. We had 3 foreigns, 3 2009s, and that miscellaneous lamination error in 1944 wheat cent. Let's move on to the next box, and I'll bring you in if and when we have any finds. Roll number 2 is going to give us our first wheat cent of the box. Oh, and it's an older one. Is that an S? It's a 1936 S. All right, that's the 30s with an S mint mark. Let me go ahead and pull up the mintage on this coin. I don't have my red book with me, but I will on the PCGist website. All right, I got this coin pulled up on my computer. It has 29.1 million minted. So fairly common, but it is definitely one for my album, and I think it might be a little bit of a better date, but I'm not totally sure. But still a very, very cool find. Roll number 3, and we have our second wheat cent. It's 1951 out of Denver. Roll number 5, and we are going to have another wheat cent. This one has a little bit of damage right there, but it is from 1947. So that's our first 40s wheat cent on the roll number 7, and I just flattened out the roll, and I happened to see a wheat cent reverse, and that is going to be from 1946. Roll number 9, and we are going to have our fourth wheat cent. Hopefully it's a little older. Looks like that by the reverse. And it is. That's going to be a 1920 with a out of San Francisco. That's going to be a 1920 out of San Francisco. And I believe that I also need that one for my album. That's great. I wonder if this was like a mini collection dump or something, because we have 2 pre-40s and a pre-30 with S mint marks. So maybe there will be a couple more in this box. But that's great. That's older and it's not in horrible condition. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's keep on hunting, and hopefully we can find something more. All right, guys. Figured I would just show you the mintage of that 1920 San Francisco. It is pretty common. It has 46 million of them made. But still a great find. And just for a little added detail, the auction record was for $3,120 in an MS-64 brown condition. Roll 13, and we are actually going to have a Canadian find, but this is the rarer design, that Younghead version from 1962. Roll 23, and we have another wheat cent. This one is a 1956 Denver. Roll 26, and we're going to have a wheat cent from 1944. Next roll, and I see a 1945 peeking out, and it's going to be a 1945 Philadelphia. Roll 30, and we're going to have another wheat cent. This one is from 1954 out of Denver. Very beat up, but still a wheat cent. We are on roll 33, and I just flattened out the roll, and I see what looks to be a very, very old wheat cent. There is literally no detail left on the back. Let's see what year it is. And it is a very, very old wheat cent. 1916 Philadelphia. And that thing is worn, but it has a nice color to it. But that thing is worn and old. That is the third oldie on the box. I will take it. And I do believe that is one for my album, so I will definitely take it. 1916. That's pretty old if you ask me. The very next roll, guys, and, well, stop focusing. But we have an ender, and I can only see 194, so I'm going to go ahead and try to open this sucker up with one hand. Not the easiest thing to do, but once we get it, it should just roll. Okay, I have a little helper here. Thank you very much. All right. Let's see what year that wheat cent is. And it's gonna be a 1947. All right, guys, I think I'm starting to like the last half of this box because I think we're gonna have another older wheat cent. And I'm not sure if that's an error or anything. It could just be weird coloring on it. Yeah, I think it might just be weird coloring. But let's see what year it is, and hopefully it's an old one. Oh, and it is. And that's gonna be another 1920s with a mint mark. Is it another 1920s? No, it's a 1920 Denver. Let me go ahead and pull up the mintage on that one. Because, well, that's a almost a teens with a mint mark. But that's still a very, very old one with the mint mark. All right, guys, that 1920 Denver is gonna have a mintage of 49.3 million. Pretty common, but still a very nice old one. Roll 38, and we're gonna have another wheat cent. This one is a 47 Denver. Same roll, and we're going to have another wheat cent. This one. This one is gonna be another pre-40s. This is a 1935 Philadelphia, the same as the one we found in the last box. But maybe, yeah, just a little bit worse condition. Very next roll, and we're gonna have another wheat cent. Just see it barely sticking out there. And it's gonna be a 1942 Philadelphia. Again, the very next roll is going to give us a 1958 Young Head design. This one is actually in, I guess not. Has some scratches on the cheek there, but another Young Head design. That is 2 more than I usually find. All right, guys, roll 33 is going to have a very cool find. It was an ender that I didn't even realize was an ender because of how shiny it was. This is going to be a 1955 San Francisco Blazer. Now, this is a very, very nice condition wheat cent. Probably high AU, almost uncirculated, or low uncirculated. Very, very nice. Nice and red, as they were when they were first minted. That's probably going to be one of the finds of the hunt. I don't find those too often. Pretty cool. Roll 45. And then we're going to have another wheat cent. And this one is from 1945. In roll 45. Roll 49. And possibly our last wheat cent is going to be the first 1948 of the hunt. All right, guys, we are done with that box, and it was an absolutely fantastic box. We had one wheat cent in the teens. It was at 1916, pretty worn. We had 2 in the 20s at 1920 Denver in the 1920S. We had 2 in the 30s at 35 and that 36S. We had 8 Canadians, 2 of those being that Young Head design that is hard to find. We had 9 in the 40s, and we had 4 in the 50s. One of those being that really, really nice 1955S Blazer pennies. In total, we had 17 wheat cents. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but for East Coast hunting, that is a lot, especially with those 5 oldies and that Blazer. We also overboarded the copper cup, and that's my hand in comparison, so it's not a small cup. And it went way over. This thing probably weighs about 9 or 10 pounds. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. It was a really fun hunt for me, and I hope it was a fun hunt for you to watch. And this will be uploaded, and then there should be a nickel hunt uploaded pretty soon as well. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you all so much for 2,000 subscribers. It means a lot that you guys support the channel that well, and it means that you enjoy it. So it means a lot to me. And so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.